In this lesson, we'll be talking about CSS3 animations. If you want to follow along, you can open up animations.html from your working files folder. If you look in the browser and you refresh, you'll see that we've got a nice animation with color and position, and after 5 seconds, it moves over to the right. If we look at Can I Use for CSS3 animations, you'll find that browser support is pretty good all the way back to IE9. IE9 and below do not support CSS3 animation. But you will notice that there are vendor prefixes on all of these browsers. For the most part, WebKit. If you click Show All Versions, you can see that Firefox had the Moz prefix, all the way back to version 15. Because version 15 was so long ago, we don't have to worry about that. But we do have to worry about putting the WebKit prefix before everything we do. So for the purposes of this lesson, because I'm using Google Chrome, I'm going to write it with the WebKit prefix. Just remember that at the end, when you're dealing with production code, you want to make sure that you have the WebKit version and the non-WebKit version. Now, animations work on a slightly different premise than transitions. Animations allow you to set keyframes, and you can animate between your different keyframes in various ways. Here's an example. By typing @WebKit keyframes, we're creating an animation. Let's name this animation Pulse. This animation is going to have a 0% and a 100%. This 0 and 100% refer to different states in the animation, different moments, if you will. So at 0, we'll set the opacity to be 1. At 100%, we'll set the opacity to be 0.5. Now that we have an animation set up with keyframes, we have to apply it to our box down here. To do that, we type WebKit animation name, pulse. WebKit animation duration, 1 second. WebKit animation iteration count, infinite. WebKit animation direction, normal. And WebKit animation timing function, ease in, out. Now let's talk about what all of these do. If I save this and refresh it, you'll see that indeed my box pulses. But it doesn't look exactly like what I want it to look like. In fact, just for a moment, I'm going to comment this out so we don't have to watch it pulsing. WebKit animation name is what animation are we making happen? WebKit animation duration is how long does the animation take? I could change this to 3 seconds to make it not so annoying. WebKit animation iteration count. If we set this to 4, it'll happen 4 times. If we set it to 1, it'll happen once. If we set it to infinite, it'll happen an infinite number of times. In other words, it'll keep going on and on and on. WebKit animation direction, normal. Now that means it'll go from 0% to 100%, and then jump back to 0% to 100%, and then jump back to 0% again. And it'll keep doing that loop like that. We can also type alternate. If we type alternate, that means it'll go 0% to 100% to 0% to 100%. And it'll keep bouncing back and forth instead of looping around. Ease in, out will make it nice and smooth. Now, as we can see, the pulse happens. It goes down to 0.5 and it comes back to 100%. And that is how you make an animation with CSS3. Now I'm going to make one more. I'm going to make one called Big High. I'm going to set it to rotate 720 degrees. Now down here, when I say WebKit animation name, remember that when you're dealing with multiple values for a CSS property, the first one comes first. So Big High comes first. This is going to take 1.5 seconds. The iteration count is going to be 1 because I only want this to happen 1 time. Direction will be normal. And my timing function, I'm just going to leave it at ease in, out. Now if I save this and refresh, it does a whole double spin at the beginning. Now there's one other pretty cool thing I can do. I can set the left position to start at 1000 pixels. And it's going to end at 0 pixels. Now my animation looks like that. It flies in from the side, and that looks pretty cool. Now, to make this work in all of our browsers, we need to make sure we do all of the browser prefixes that we want. In this case, we want the animation name, duration, all that stuff without the WebKit prefix as well. And all the way up here, we have to copy and paste all of this and take away our WebKit. Now this looks like a lot of code, but there are JavaScript projects out there which will take your non-prefixed code and add all the prefixes for you. This is one such example, prefix free. Break free from CSS prefix hell. Now I'm not going to go over how to use this project, but if you use it, it'll go through all of your code and take all of the non-prefixed versions and add all the WebKit, Moz, everything that you need. It'll also keep itself updated, so when you don't need the WebKit anymore, it won't put it there.